This is like a part 2 to the message I just put out about counterfeits. We're trying to make up for lost time. I forgot to add it in that word, but the Lord wanted me to say that, like, so the other thing too is that there's a couple other things. These counterfeits don't understand how you know what you know. They assume that the only way that a person could know things in this life is if they were to follow the dark arts, right? If they were to do tarot, or maybe in your past you dabbled in that, so they think that you still are even though you're not. They don't have a close relationship with Jesus and the Lord, and even if they think they're close with the Lord, they're Christian, they follow God, they don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, and so they're missing a key element, right? So for one, they're not saved and delivered. For two, they don't stop repeating their sins. For three, they don't repent. And for four, they keep coming after you. They keep trying to go after a true child of God, right? And so the Lord is saying that they could be repentant, they could do all these things, but as long as they continue to see you as something you're not, and trying to make others see you as something you're not, and trying to see themselves as something they're not, they're wicked, and they're trying to see themselves as righteous. You're righteous, and they're trying to see you as wicked. The Lord is saying that's one of the number one things that's causing them stagnation and problems, is that they continuously, no matter what, they may stop for a bit, then they pick it back up again. They may try, but then they default again. They continuously try to come after you, either a child of God or a chosen one or both. And you walk with the Lord. You have been saved. You've been delivered. You're not perfect. You're a human on this planet just like they are, but you avoid sin cycles. You don't go after people. You don't, even these counterfeits that come against you, you pray for them. You hope they can be saved. You've been rolling with their punches for a long time now, just hoping they can be saved, right? There's nothing that the Lord can really hold against you, right? You have the right, so to speak, to come against these counterfeits, but you're not. These counterfeits don't have any right to come against you, but yet they are. Then once they come against you and the plan doesn't work out, or so they thought, and they end up back in the swirl of judgment, they're scratching their head, not being able to figure out what just happened. And the Lord is saying, how many times, like, these counterfeits, they talk amongst each other. The ones that know of each other, they listen to tarot readings. They go and pay for tarot readings. They dabble in the dark arts. So whether it's a palm reading, crystal balls, crystals, whatever it may be, some of them try to communicate with spirits, etc. Like, they have all kinds of ways that they use tactics to try to get their information, right? On you, on themselves, on the spouse, on others, etc., etc. The Lord is trying to say that because you know certain things, because of over time the Lord's revealed to you, and also you can see how things are going. It's a pattern. It's not hard to understand. These counterfeits assume, especially your spouse's counterfeit, that you must be also in doing the things they're doing. You must also be dabbling in the dark arts, because how else could you know what you know? Where else could the knowledge come from? But the Lord is saying they don't understand that the Lord gifts his children with wisdom, discernment, and knowledge. It even talks about this in the Bible, right? And also, if you have spiritual gifts, depending on what they are, the Lord probably communicates with you directly. Like with me, myself, the Lord directly talks to me, and maybe sends something in the message of, some sort of like an analogy or a dream, or, just common sense. Like, if you see the same thing over and over again over time, you're going to be able to crack the code, just normal knowledge, right? So that's the thing, is you're smart, but these counterfeits think you're stupid, or want to play like you're stupid. But the reality is you're smart. So therefore, because you're smart, you're able to figure things out, put two and two together, right? They don't think that you walk close with the Lord, but you actually do. So therefore, the Lord reveals things to you in various ways. Okay? They don't think that you're a true child of God, but yet you are. So therefore, because you are, you receive the gifts of wisdom and discernment and prophecy and things like that. So you are who you are, but they think that the only way that you would know what you know, so they've accepted that you know what you know, but they can't accept that you must be who you are, right? They think that they accept that you know what you know, but they think that the only way you could know what you know is if you yourself are working for Team Satan and retrieving information in the same ways that they do, right? Not understanding that no, I've heard someone say this before, but there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? That old phrase. No, there's more than one way to get where you're going. You don't have to just dabble in the dark arts and work for Satan's team in order to know things and see things and have things revealed to you, right? Because you truly are who you say you are and you walk with the Lord has bestowed these things onto you. So therefore you do know what you know. You both are in agreement. They know you know what you know, and you know what you know. That's agreed upon. What's disagreed upon is the way that they think that you're going about learning such things. And the Lord is just like shaking his head, because it's like, how much more clear can it be made, right? You've already made it substantially clear. These counterfeits also tune into tarot, and they tune into prophetic words. And the Lord has allowed that just to get it through their heads, because they were tuning into tarot and you were still knowing what you know. So then they're like, oh, they must not be, they're a fraud. They must work for the devil and they're pretending to work for God. That's it. So then the Lord allowed the counterfeits to tune in, and this spouse's counterfeit specifically, to tune into prophetic words, even though they are so prideful they think the prophetic word is for them and the tarot's for them and everything's just for them. But whatever. But the Lord was showing them that through the prophetic words, no, see, this is how this child of mine is finding these things out and knows these things. If you don't believe them, then maybe it'll be coincided with these other prophetic voices and you can believe them instead. Like if you can't believe it straight from the horse's mouth, then maybe you'll believe it from these other sources. They still don't understand. They still don't get it. Now they think that those prophetic voices are legit, but that you're just not. So you're a prophetic voice, but they think you're not a legit prophetic voice. These other prophetic voices have chimed in and repeated what you yourself have said and done to prove the fact that you must be a prophetic voice as well. But these counterfeits work so strongly for Satan that now they've separated you and your prophetic voice from those other prophetic voices, and they've given those other prophetic voices that aren't yours the seal of approval, or the check mark, so to speak, or the green light. But then you, who's also saying the same things those prophetic voices are saying, or those prophetic voices are saying the same thing you're saying, and that's on, like, the message is similar. That's because the Lord is doing that on purpose, just to drive the point home to these counterfeits that you are the real deal for the 550th time. They've, instead of seeing it again, they think that these prophetic voices are legit, the tarot world is legit, but that you are just still not legit. But like the Lord's like, okay, like how much more clear can the Lord make it to these people that you are who you are? And so as a result, because these people refuse to see you as who you are, they continue to go against you. And because they continue to go against you, that is what is getting them caught up in the snares. They have other problems too, their sin cycles, their worldly ways, their wicked hearts, etc. But the Lord is saying, as long as you continue to see my stamped and approved child as someone they're not, as someone who's not, doesn't have any gifts when they do, or as someone who works for the dark side when they don't, as long as you continue to misjudge and misalign my child and their thoughts, feelings, and actions, you are going to continue to go against them. And if you continue to go against them, I, the Lord, will continue to go against you. So this, like I made in the past word there, these counterfeits are scratching their head, not understanding why you're still advancing and they're staying stuck. And the Lord is saying there's several reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is because you've said all along that you work for the Lord and you represent righteousness. And you do in fact work for the Lord and represent righteousness. That is in fact why you're moving forward, okay? They are stuck in Satan's kingdom and working on Satan's team. They don't think that, either some of them think that they're not, or some of them know that they're working for Satan's team, but they still don't understand what their view is the same. They can't understand why they're not stopping you. They're not stopping you because you are genuinely, bona fide, authentically who you say you are. But because they refuse to see you for who you say you are and for who you really are and who the Lord says you are, they continue to go against you. And because they continue to go against you and see you as something that you're not, therefore the wrath and the judgment of the Lord is going to continue to fall upon their head. So one of the key steps in them moving forward or advancing or getting out of their trap and pitfall is to stop seeing you for who you're not. You really are on level 10. You really are a child of God that doesn't need to dabble in the dark arts, that really has gifts, prophetic and otherwise. That is really truly who you are, period. And until they see that for what it is, they're going to continue to go against you, and therefore they'll continue to fall under the Lord's judgment. So they're, like I said in the past word, they're sitting there trying to check off the proverbial boxes. They're like, well, I've fasted, I've prayed, I've done this, I've done that. I know that this person isn't who they say they are. So therefore, why does this person continue to advance and I stay stuck? Why aren't they falling backwards? I know they're not who they say they are. I know that they lead the same life I do behind the scenes. I know that they also are on Satan's team like I am. No, they're skewed. They're wrong. When they start to assume those judgments about you that are wrong and corrupt, that's where they start to go back in circles and fall back under. Okay? So the Lord just wanted me to add that as well. And again, if there's more to add, I'll come back upon his leading. So I hope it finds who it needs to find. Take care. God bless.